Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Prep Your Standard NATO. Today's guest is Hannah, and she is the recipient of the Longtan Bursary Scholarship. Hannah, thank you so much for coming in.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Okay, first off, for anyone who doesn't know, what is this scholarship?
Well, it's all over Australia, but I was one of 4 recipients to win it in WA, and it's funded by the AVCAT, so it's Australian Children's Veterans Assistance Trust. There we go.
It's a very long name.
It's a very long one. But yeah, it's because my father was a Vietnam veteran, so it's like just to help us like get me to uni, and because I'm from the country, so just like to give that extra money to get me to uni, like give me accommodation here, and just help out in that way, and all,
Yeah, great. So they have some wonderful scholarships for students, and I really wish that they were around when I was a student because they would have been a big help. So how do you apply for this scholarship?
Well, you fill out a form, and you go just fill out all the details, like your relationship with the veteran and all that kind of stuff, like obviously all the basics, your name, your address, all that kind of thing. It's actually quite easy. Sometimes the forms can be really confusing and it kind of can put you off. But AVCAT did a really good job of making it like really easy to understand. Yep. And so it was very easy to fill out, and then you send off the forms and you just wait and see if you're lucky enough to get it.
Right, so you don't have to write some long essay and,
you have to write, like the longest thing you have to write is the relationship you have with the veteran. Yep. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So
yeah, fair enough. I guess that could get complicated depending on how good your relationship is.
Yeah, it could get a bit confusing, but luckily he's my dad, so it's much easier.
Much easier for you.
Yeah.
So you're obviously quite young.
Yeah.
And it's not often that you actually see a Vietnam veteran having a child your age, if you don't mind me saying.
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up with a dad who did serve in Vietnam?
Yeah, well, like, he's much older than my mum. He's retired now, so, and now I'm going to uni, I feel a lot more self-conscious about, money and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't want them to, like, be put under too much pressure to get me to, like, I'm staying at a residential college, I'm going to uni, so it's a lot of money, and I'm like, your mum's working part-time, dad's retired, I'm like, I don't want to put you guys under too much stress, but just, like, having the scholarship there just makes me feel like, it's okay, and, like, but yeah, it's a bit different, because, like, a lot of, like, sometimes when I say, my dad's, like, quite much older, people are like, oh, that's a bit weird, but, it's fine, it's just, it's kind of cool in some aspects, because, like, I can tell a lot of cool stories, about my dad to people, so that's a good part about it. Like, I have a lot of cool stories.
Well, share some stories, come on.
Just the other day, actually, he told me that when he, I'm not sure, like, when it happened, but I think it was when he first arrived in Vietnam, he didn't cover his face or something, and all the mozzies bit him on his face, and he was so swollen that he couldn't open his eyes. We were having a big conversation about that, because I always react really badly to mozzie bites. Like, I always have big red, and he was like, you would never last in Vietnam. You would never last.
Just get with a fly out of your face.
Exactly.
Oh, no. Yeah, clearly not from Queensland originally, because then you'd know how to deal with that.
Yeah.
Great. So what are you studying at uni?
I'm studying speech pathology, so I'm in my second year.
Great. So why speech pathology?
Well, my mum's a kindy teacher. Well, was. She now is a school librarian.
Yep.
But yeah, so I helped out in the classroom a lot, and I always knew I wanted to do something with helping people. And I wasn't sure, like, where I wanted to go. I knew I didn't want to go into, like, being a doctor or a nurse or anything. Can't deal with that.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I knew I wanted to help people in some way, and Mum, it has a lot of contact with the speech pathologist where I'm from. And so she said to me, well, why don't you, for year 10, your work experience, there we go, work experience, why don't you go to the hospital and volunteer with the speech pathologist? And I was like, why don't give it a go, see what it's about. And I just, like, loved it from the get-go. And then I went back and did some more volunteering there, and then I was tossing up between speech and psych for a while, but then I was like, I'm just going to go with speech, because language has always fascinated me. Yeah. So I just went with that, and I managed to get in. So that was really, really good,
Fantastic. I know they can be extremely helpful. My sister needed one when she was quite young, because she had meningococcal meningitis, and she died twice, and she had to learn how to speak all over again.
Wow.
So a speech pathologist played a huge part in her life growing up. So I'm sure you'll have the opportunity to help lots of people.
Yeah.
So how long does it take to study to become a speech pathologist?
It's a 4-year course.
4-year course. All right.
Like, this is my halfway point, I guess.
All right. So you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, but still a little far off to start celebrating.
Exactly, yeah.
Great. Awesome. So obviously, because you're the daughter of a veteran, you take part in Anzac Day ceremonies?
Yeah, I always try to. Yeah, I've never had a chance to be able to do, like, participate in one up in Perth, but I've always done it where I'm from, like, a little small town. down south, but I've always tried to do it there. But I really want to like be able to participate in one up here because it's like so much bigger. You know, I'm from a small town, so you know it's a lot smaller, and you know it's great. But like you know, I want to be able to experience something a bit bigger.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
the Perth the service is one of those. You know, you have to do it once in your life kind of things.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's pretty close to UWA. You probably just walk there.
Yeah, I probably can. Yeah, it's good.
You're like, great. Don't have to get up at 2 a.m.
Oh my god.
Roll out of bed just before it starts. Wander over.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Great. Do you have any other stories from your dad that you'd like to share? Or
he did tell me once he got bitten by a scorpion because when I was like in year 10 we have to go on this compulsory camp and one of my friends sat on a scorpion and killed it, managed not to get stung by it, but it was a bit of a running joke for the rest of the camp.
Yeah.
And I told Dad about it and he told me about the time he got stung by a scorpion, and apparently he did, like, they're not venomous so they can't really hurt you, but they just hurt a lot.
Right.
And he was just told to suck it up. And he was in agony apparently.
Okay, so mosquitoes, scorpions.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a bit of a target at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. But he's only told me those ones, so like I don't know. He's just
Who knows what else has bitten him? Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Good, best of luck with your studies, and we look forward to seeing you around the hospitals and helping people out in the future.
Thank you.
This podcast was edited, published and produced by the RSLWA. Head to www.rslwa.org.au for other content. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast and follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook.